Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my grown, extended, beautiful family, as always, just thank you so much for the love and support. It's truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift. And if you feel like the videos give good vibes, they would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through trying times and just need spiritual guidance, confirmation, validation towards life path, or even soul purposes. Please go ahead and share them while you're at it. Give it a thumbs up, like, and also share. And the social media favorites, wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. It's truly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101, the constant frustration you feel. Everything is going on. It's going to create a beast of a ghost to you. I know I may have messed up the title to it, but you'll see it when you watch the video. But we get frustrated when things don't go as planned. We may think, oh yeah, this is going to be the big one. We're going to finally get through here, or God's been set up here giving me different vibes that certain events is going to take place. There's so many different things that goes through your mind, and it's like they're creating a new form of you. They give you that vision that only you can see. And there's a lot of different times that, when their veils are unraveling, going through a lot of ascension symptoms right about now. You may be having, you're probably lethargic, you're not able to sleep. And when you sleep, you got these crazy dreams, having hot and cold chills, throat chakras, kind of irritable, your heart, you might have heart pain. I know I was dealing with a lot of that yesterday. I watched this beautiful movie I watched. Oh my God, I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while. And it's called, Heaven Real. And I watched that yesterday and I'm like, I don't know why. I said, why am I going to watch this? Because I already know I get really sensitive and it doesn't take much for me to start crying, but it was so beautiful. And that little boy reminded me so much of myself. I didn't have the issues he had to get towards that, but with the near death experience, even though he didn't have that either, but he was able to see certain things there's no way he could possibly know. But seeing things through a child's mind, universe is always telling us, heal your inner child, being able to see things as a child sees things. And I'm just like, wait a minute, with me, I've seen a lot of different things that, it's like, well, if I see it now, back in those days, it was like really scary because I really didn't understand it. I would tell my mom different things, and it was just like my mom already knew because she was the empath as well. So she knew there was something very special about me, just the way I speak. She's like, this girl is old soul. She's been here before a few times, just the way she talks. But, you can get frustrated. You can get so frustrated when things is just taking too long, or it just seems like when you're getting on the straight and narrow, the worst thing you can sit up here and do is say, you know what, I'm going to get on my stuff. I know I got what it takes to get this. When you start coaching your own mind to say, you got to create better, you got to think better, you have to be able to speak better, you have to see yourself better, and when you're starting to do that, things will start changing the way you see it, even though there may be certain frustrations that you're dealing with, but you'll see like there'll be certain things that, that may irritate you. And all of a sudden, instead of you reacting, you're just, allowing yourself to really see things. I get tested a lot. Sometimes I'll fail that test, and I start popping off and giving what is given, or it's just sometimes I'll feed into somebody else's emotions and I'll start going off like a Rottweiler. I just, but then it's just like I'm going through these events of changing. And so when you can allow yourself to say, you know what, this ain't even my vibe that I'm giving off on, and I'm feeding off in somebody else's, and just being able to recognize that's letting you're creating something fiercely into you. When you have allowed yourself to go through so many different things, there's sometimes you may have jumped into something else impulsively just because you didn't like the situation you were in, the energy, maybe in the people you were surrounded by, and you did, you jumped into something without really fully looking at it because you just didn't like that uncomfortability. And it's just like a lot of times we don't realize that stuff that makes us very uncomfortable. You don't know what kind of beast that you're turning yourself into. You're being created for that plot twist that you didn't know that is going to take place in your life. And doesn't always have to be that big, that big blessing that you're looking for, even though it may lead to that. But it's just at that point, because a lot of times it's like when we see certain visions, we automatically thinking it's exactly what we want and not realizing you got to go through stages to be able to go through those things. And God is just like, take your time. And I'm like, look, you know what? I said, I understand you protecting me. I understand you're guiding me and you're giving me, you're giving me that love, even when you're offering it to me, giving it to me, or I ask for it. But it's creating something within myself. You're your own plot twist. You don't know. There's a lot of times that you can make these swift changes within yourself and you start to notice, because a lot of times, you may not like, I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that. And it's like, if you want to be able to get the things that you want, you never had, you're going to have to start doing things you don't like to do. And, and I had to be able to tell myself that. I'm looking at my girl, what is that, Awakened Goddess? And she be saying some of these different things. I'll be just like, you know what, sis, I needed that today. I said, I truly needed that today. And I always make sure I give her those hearts. And I'm like, man, I'm going to go share this on my page, and it's just a lot of times that mess hit deep. And it may, even I may feel kind of sensitive, like, I ain't need to hear that today. But then it's like, yeah, you did, and you have to be honest with yourself. Cause it's just like, when I tell people, I don't mind helping you, but you have to be able to help yourself. And I have to be able to do that too. Girl, you want something good, you have to be able to, make them changes into your life to make sure that you're doing all you can for those different things to take place into your life for you to be able to have those good things, and it's just like, if God's telling you he's creating something that you never, even imagine or whatever, then he's going to make you jump through some hoops. And just because the fact is he wants you to make sure that you are, you're going to not take what he's given for granted. He wants to be able to do you this blessing to make sure you can add on. And it's just that frustration going through that change of challenge. That's where it creates something within inside of you that was forgotten. Because it's like a lot of times, there's people I know that enjoy challenges. Like, yeah, man, I could do this and this and that. I wish I had your energy. Because there's a lot of time I'm like, heck with that. I'm not about to do all that. Then I get mad with myself. I'm like, girl, get your butt up. This and this and that. Or you have to be a focus even with yourself. And it's just like, you know what you don't like dealing with, and what you're tired of. Then sometimes you have to use that as that focus to fuel yourself to keep going. And that's what universe do. Sometimes you got to psych yourself out on different things. If you're not that type of person, it's easy, that is easy breezy going into new things, with all your confidence and stuff. Because a lot of times we can pick up the shakies, it's just like, man, I don't know if I got what it takes. And, and it's just like, stop looking at yourself at that lower vibration, being able to say, because a lot of times we got to, really talk to ourselves and say, I may not know what I'm doing, but if I ask the universe to guide me towards what I need to do, I may find this enjoyable. I may find this informative, or I might find something I can really like about that. Just like I used to do, live on Instagram for a while, and I stopped for probably like a year. And then, it was just like, I always loved doing the IGs, sending the IGs over here, just being able to, uplift somebody, and find out different things, especially those recipes. I say, y'all making me daggone hungry. And I was like, but different things like that. And then it was just like, universe is like, hey, why don't you start making your own? And then I was just like, oh no. But it was just like, you do it here on YouTube all the time. You've been doing this almost going on 6 years. You've been doing it and you're so comfortable with it, and even when I find people that do their own YouTube videos, and I'm like, Roslynn, are you nervous during live? And I say at point I did, but I had to get out of that fear factor of doing that, because there's a lot of trolls that'll come in, or there'll be different times I've had racial slurs. Now it's just, when I see, people coming up in there, in our last live, it was so enjoyable. Everybody was talking. There's different things that people said that they may have dealt with. And it was just like being so informative, but also sending good vibes to one another. And that's what I really love. And, I always tell people I'm very, 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 very stern about that. I said I put up a platform where everybody can be okay with expressing themselves, as long as it's not belittling anybody, offending anybody or disrespecting anybody. You should be able to speak your mind. Not everybody's going to agree with what you're maybe saying, your views or whatever, but you should be able to do, agree to disagree, especially if you're an INFJ. Sometimes people get mad. I'm one of those, you try to convince me of something. I say, oh, I can see your version of it, but I'm still stuck with my decision. But I can understand why you think like that. And some people will respect that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Because it's like, I don't want to get in an argument with somebody just because you think differently or you see differently or you move differently. Not everybody is like that. I don't like, because some people are those yes man, like, oh yeah, I love it. No, and they don't like that stuff. Well, to be honest with you may not like it. Oh, okay. Well, that's not your cup of tea, but it's mine. But we can be okay with it and just be like that. And it's just like I had to really allow myself to really, even through my frustration and my fear of did I have what it takes, when I started doing IG, and it was just like I actually loved it. I really, really loved it. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that again. But, all through the different changes, there's a lot of times I just got to step back and just focus on me, but we get tests, it's just like whatever you're doing within your purpose, you're going to have constant tests. I've had different people come at me, and or different things may have came up that really upset me. It could have been somebody I was helping and, they betrayed me. But then now it's at that point in time, not everybody is going to last on your journey. You have to be able to appreciate them while they're there, even if they did something good to you, or even if they did something bad. You can appreciate that person from what they taught you and you taught them. We were both blessings to each other. And sometimes people take it personal when you no longer, are in their lives like that. And I can understand. I've been there. I've had people, get upset with me when I walk away. And it's just like, I'm not doing that on purpose. If there's something like you push me and I'm just like, look, I ain't got time to deal with that. Or if I see that it was beneficial to you when you needed me, and then all of a sudden when you get in a good place and you don't, I'm gonna still respect you, but I'm gonna respect you from a distance. I'm gonna create that absent space, and there's gonna be a void, and I'm just going about my business. But I still wish that person well. It took me a long time to be able to do that. But just going through frustration of change. It's not easy. Change is not everybody adjusts to that the way certain people do. A lot of people run from challenges. It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like that. I don't want to do that. But then it was just like, you start, universe is always telling us to try something new, and start doing things differently. You just don't know what you're adding towards the table of your purpose when you're allowing yourself to venture out of doing something routine. It's like with me, I got OCD, I got ADD. And then when I get like that, when I start doing things repetitive, I start losing interest in it, so I said I have to be able to, just allow myself to change it up a little bit. Even with here, I love doing my videos. I love to be able to do it because there'll be times I talk amongst myself, or I could be doing a one-on-one with somebody, and then I'll think of a certain phrase, or I might hear it on, a movie or a post or something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna talk about that because I know there may be some people that are going through those different things. And just being able to create that, and it's just like, I'm very passionate about that. I haven't been passionate about something like this in a long time. It's just like, I used to get excited about different jobs that I've worked at. And then it was just like, after a few weeks, I'm like, I'm not going to be here that long. It'll be just like, yeah, and they're like, how's your new job? And they're like, yeah, it's okay. I said, I got to get a feel in it. It's only the first week or whatever. And then it's just like, yeah, it's okay, but then I had to be grateful for it, because there's people out there that didn't have jobs, and different things like that, especially with the pandemic is going on, a lot of people going through, financial strain, it can be very hectic, it can be very stressful, But going through these different frustrations, through the challenges, they want you to be able to see what is being taught towards you, on what it is that you need to accept into that. What are you allowing yourself to challenge yourself, on what new ventures you're willing to give? Because I know right now we're doing a lot of clearing and purging. And it's just like right now, there's so much insight that is coming in. It's just like you'll start feeling that pressure right here. And a lot of times you may even hear cracking. And I feel it a lot at times. And it's just like all that energy is coming in. It's like when you allowing yourself to really just purge out the nonsense that you have dealt with. Because a lot of times we done came comfort. We done been ace boom coons with our pain. Like, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. And I'm like, no. This is time for that relationship to break up. I appreciate you, but I'm trying to go on somewhere. I'm trying to get better things into my life, and I can't do that with me just still holding on to things. You want something new into your life, you have to be letting go of the old, and it's hard to do that, especially with me. I held on to my pain for so long, and then after that, for a while, it became my my connection. It was just like my invisible twin, So, and then when I did that, and then I had to go through all, grief and tragedy on top of all the other stuff that I was still dealing with. I mean, it was like backpack, like Dora the Explorer type thing, swiper, no swiping, different things. And it's just like, I had to be able to say, shake yourself out of it. There's different things. It's like, I know, pain hits deep, and it's depending on what kind of pain that you had to deal with. And it was just like things happen for a reason. We can never ask, question God's motives on why he does certain things. Everything is not what it seems. When he feels like he's ready to give us that clarity for that, when we're in that place of space, when we are into that alignment, because a lot of times we're wanting that reveal on why this happened, or why did you take this away, or why did you add this towards my life, and you're not in that alignment to be able to be ready to receive that, because it might make things, it could be more harm than good to you, and I had to be able to think about that a lot, because there was just certain things that took place in my life, and it was just really, really, really hard. Really hard. And I still deal with that on a daily, but then it's just like, it's starting to become easier. Even if things didn't make sense to me, I know God in his own way is going to do that to make sense for me in that way. If you're moving in good intentions happen. And a lot of times, you may be stuck in that frustration, but you have to keep telling yourself, if you're moving good, you're doing people good, you're going to make mistakes. There will be times that people going to hurt you. And you can't take it personal, even though it's personally happening to you. You don't know what wars those people are going through. And a lot of times, what my situation is going on, it takes a lot of strength to be able to keep telling yourself that. And a lot of times when you're going through that anger and hurt, it could be okay today, and it's, hit you like a brick tomorrow. And it's just like, you cannot take it personal. Those people are, that person or people or situations is fighting wars that you know nothing about. You fighting your own war. Everybody's fighting their own war. If you look back at different things about how people treated you, you don't know. Especially, I've heard it, and I've actually said it myself many a times. I came off genuine. I had no hidden intent. I had no motives. I seen that person needed a friend. I seen that person that wasn't used to a person like me. And when you speak honestly and to your truth about different things, people get aggressive about that, because they were so used to people, downplaying certain things, because they had some kind of motives that they were connecting with that person. They may have seen that person as somebody easy to manipulate. Or that person is like, when you're an empath, people think empath stands for idiot. It's like, you have a good heart and you see the good in every daggone thing. There's sometimes you might have seen the best heart in daggone Freddy Krueger, God daggone Michael Myers, and Chucky, and Jason, and you really trying to find that heart in there. And it was just like, and then you end up having to, suffer the consequences. But it was just like, now, you have to be at that point and say, and I have to tell people that, and I have to remind myself that I needed that. So when that mess comes up again, I know exactly what the heck I'm dealing with. Because a lot of times we can be like that, like, oh, I wish I never met this person, or I wish I never did this. These lessons happen for a reason. So if this comes in a repetitive cycle for you, and you start seeing, because sometimes people have that same pattern, and some people get up on the uppy up and try to be real slick about it. But then it's just your vibe is giving off, and I tell people, they're like, why'd you leave? Why'd you do this? I'm like, look, You know, if it gets to that point where your vibe is not clicking with my vibe and it's getting real shifty and I don't know what you're doing, and I feel like I'm very paranoid around you, I get annoyed around you, I'm gone. You know, and I was like, I'm gonna respect my daggone gut before I respect you and your energy. You can say one thing, but my gut's telling me something else. And you have to be able to do that. But you're going, it's not just about people, but it's about the person within you. You know, a lot of times, you know, people ask me, you know, how come we attract the most toxic people, the most broken, the most jaded, you know, and you have to understand whatever you are attracting into your life is giving you that signal to identify something in your life that you have within that person that's common with you. And I've had that. I've been a trife person. I've been very volatile. You know, I had to respect myself for the fact is I felt like if I was honest about being volatile, that should be respected. You know, I'm just like, if I don't like you, I tell you, no. He's like, why are you acting like you don't like me? That's not acting. I'm not acting like I like you. I don't like you. And I'm not going to entertain that. People, you know, my friends used to laugh at me for that. And I'm like, what? I'm being honest. I'm not going to fake the funk around you. I can't pussyfoot around something like that. I got to come straight forward. I ain't got that time to be, you know, be linking. You know, people used to think I was naive. No, I'm just very straightforward with mine. I don't got time to be doing that sneaky stuff. I'm like sneaky and straightforward at the same time. You know, you got to be able to, you know, get it when you get it, you know, type situation. Now it came to that point. It's like, it's not good to tell everybody everything that's on your mind like that. Some things you got to be able to keep to yourself and get you in a lot of trouble, you know. And that's just a lot of different things that's even take place now. I hear it in a lot of different videos. A lot of your private thoughts, keep it to yourself. Mainly, you know, mainly if there's certain things that really hurt you, keep it to yourself. Because a lot of friends is being cloaked as enemies. You know, they being enemies and they, you know, they're cloaking as friends, you know, at the same time. And so they're telling you even different things you're working on, keep it to yourself. You know, don't leave stuff open around. Don't leave, you know, doing all these different things because it's just like, you know, we're all going through that series of change. You know, you're going through different things, you're learning through different things, and a lot of times our issues are oversharing, you know, and especially it's sad even between the tribes. There's a lot of things you have to keep to yourself. You know, I'll be on chat and I'll get different vibes or different visions with people, and I get ready to say something, and I stop and I was like, hey, you know, hit me up on the side. There are certain things I need to talk to you about, but I'm not going to do that here. You know, and I respect that, you know, because there's a lot of things people don't need to know about what's going on into your life. And it's sad, you know, people used to get offensive when I'm like, hey, you know, I'm happy for you that you're, you know, could be something like, Roslynn, I'm about to see my twin flame. I'm like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. I said, number one, that's a no-no. You don't ever tell anybody that you about to go into a twin flame union. And it's just like, they don't have to know you personally. They don't have to, because it's just like when you're going through those different things, those are something very sacred. That's something that, you know, because there's hidden forces all over everything. Devil don't want nothing good coming for you. And if he's doing it, he wants to make sure you're doing it for the wrong reasons on why he carrying you that way. And he'll end up leaving you at pasture. So he going to jump on the next weak person that don't want to heal on that stuff and want to think about all those different things that you want that's really not going to be relevant. So you have to understand there's a lot of different things you need to, you know, keep to yourself. You know, I tell people real quick, if we talking one-on-one, baby, you go ahead and tell me all you want. And because it's just the fact is, I know what it feels like to be happy about something. It's like, Dad, Rosalind, I can't be happy. It ain't even the fact that I want to see you win. You know, but I had to learn from the best. There was a lot of people that don't want to see me win. I got enemies watching me 24/7. You know, even when they, you know, their eyes shut, she over here doing something new. Let's go ahead and block, you know, and be something like that. And you have to really understand that those are your challenges. Those are the ones you're going to really appreciate, because they say if you only got haters, you must not be doing nothing interesting. You know, you're doing something that you are your own walking plot twist. You are that Action Jackson cliffhanger of a person that you are flipping scripts within your life. You even making daggone moves in your sleep. And you may not even recognize that that's what you're doing. That's why God created you for that. That's the reason why he has you going through all these different things, because it gets to that point. A lot of times we get up to that point where we're ready to quit. We're ready to throw in the towel. We're just getting tired of all the no's when you kept on telling me yes, yes, yes. It made me sound like that Destiny Child song. It's like, no, 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 no. You know, it's like one of those different things. And it's just like, there is going to be a definite yes for you, and it's going to be a lot powerful yes for you, but you're going to have to go through these series of no's and being grateful for those no's, because these no's is letting you know. Because a lot of times we can get to that point where we can see hardly that that the devil will put different people on your agenda, and God will use them as the same. God and devil, I tell people real quick, God and devil go hand in hand, but they got two different agendas on what they're doing. God will send this hardship into your life that you'll, say, what, I'm getting tired of your cruel to be kind. And he does that. He will bring people into your life to rip you apart. But then when he's ripping you apart, he tearing all that mess away that don't mean nothing, is no longer needed, it's not, it's not resonating or serving a powerful, positive purpose for you, because it's getting you to the core of who you truly are that was forgotten. The one that you really need to recognize with. He's making you show up for yourself all the time until you get into that power of the forgotten one that you get powerfully reacquainted with. So you're going through that frustration of change, through different challenges, through those setbacks. And it gets to the point where you so used to being set back, when you still moving like, what, I'm so tired, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this anyway, even though I ain't gonna get it. And God's like, I guess so, you keep saying that. But then it's just like when he sees that you're crying, he sees that you're pissed, he sees that you just tired of that door not opening for you. He's going to lead you to that door. He's like, look, I don't play that. You acting like Lucy and daggone Charlie Brown. All right, Chuck. You keep on telling me to go kick that ball. And next, I go kick the ball and I end up falling and hurt myself. And he's like, no, I done gave up the challenge. Just go ahead. Like, just go ahead. And it's going to create you as that goat. You're creating that own plot twist. So allow yourself to know these things that you're going through. And I have to remind myself of that too. I'm not preaching to the choir. The choir is preaching to me too. I got to be able to go swallow my, ingest my own pill called truth, and, make sure I don't choke on that mug. But just being able to understand when you're going through all this aggression of setbacks, of turmoil, of warfare, going through, things that just feel unbearable, it's creating something for you that you never seen coming. Because a lot of times we think small, we want small. And it's just for the fact is God sees the goodness you're putting out, even though a lot of times you don't get the goodness back. He sees the support that you put out for other people. And he's telling you, don't regret that. Even when they sit up here and do you wrong, don't regret that, because a lot of times when you are being good to people, you're being genuine to them. You can't, you have to be able to, and I have to remind myself of that too. You can't take it personal. A lot of times when you come in unique like that and you really are genuine towards that person, they're not used to that. They haven't had a person like that is really wanting to see them grow, really wanting to see them win, get to that next chapter they're doing. You were that person's blessing. God, they prayed for you to come into their life. And then when they did, they learned what they had to go. They had to move on, just like you're doing. It can hurt sometimes. It can really hurt. It can be very frustrating. But then you're going to learn those lessons from being stabbed in the back. You're going to learn those lessons from being cheated, being lied to, having people intimidated by your power, by your shine, by your magic that's being instilled, even getting upset about the visions. You have to understand that grows even through deep, even in our own tribe. Because there's a lot of people in our tribes that's been learning since, when they first came out the womb, they were already teaching them stuff. And there'll be different times that you were hidden in plain sight, doing different things that you didn't realize that this is something that our tribe does. They had to keep you on a hush hush. You are hybrid. We are all hybrids. They had to have you hidden in plain sight. You could not go through the natural characteristics of what a Heyoka, Lakota tribe, of a tribal warrior looks like. We had to be able to do that. We all run in packs, but we all got our own breed. We all got our own breed within ourselves, and they want you to be able to recognize that within yourself. And it can be hard, especially when it's people in our own tribe that we supposed to connect with. But there's sometimes there's treachery, but it's in the war within themselves. We all figuring ourselves out through our wounds. We're all figuring ourselves out through our sorrow and our pain. But then when we recognize those things, that's when that fierce of the plot twist. I'm trying to say two things at the same time. So excuse me, I didn't mean to say that, because I was like, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot what that word is. But you're going through an insane plot twist of within yourself that you weren't able to recognize before. And this is that time where you're going to have that aha moment. And then you're going to sit. You're probably going to cry to God and saying, you know what, I appreciate those times you set me back. I appreciate those times when you didn't give me what I wanted, but you supplied me with what I needed. I appreciate you sending those people in my life that did me dirty, even when I did good to them. you know, and I appreciate the people that you actually came in my life and I second guessed and end up surprising me in the meantime. So you're going to appreciate all those different things. I remind myself of all those hardships, but I also appreciate the pain and the anguishes, as well as the same time is the blessings and the love that I get, because it's all learning, it's all growing. So allow yourself to appreciate all those different changes that are taking place into your life. This will be the end of the video. And I would love to give a post notification shout out to Julia Barton and Derek Tate. Much love to you. And Mark, what is it? Mark, oh goodness, I can't even read my own writing. Glurick, I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I mutilated your name. I will be having Heyoka chat support live. You know, it's going to be 2-in-1 special tonight. It's going to be probably like 45 minutes to an hour because I'm still doing my own routine. So I'm just trying to make sure I get into my routine and actually stay to it. So I don't do one over the other. But it will be at 7:45 my time, Eastern Standard Time. And it is 3:48 here. So it ain't gonna be that long from now. But I hope you have a blessed, safe weekend. Please be responsible and safe. You know, please, especially if you're in bad weather, you know, please drive safely, travel safely. You know, even whatever you're working on in your manis, placing so many, you know, prosperous loves and vibes for it to be something extreme that's going to come into your life that's going to probably just make you fall out, because you truly deserve it, especially if you've been waiting and working hard diligently for your different things and things just hasn't, you know, changed over for you. Trust and believe it's going to be so much more than you imagine, and it's going to come sooner than you expected. I'll leave all my contact information in the description box below. It's all about, you know, spiritual networking. I usually do one-on-one with a lot of different people. You know, they want to be able to share stuff with me, or just give me help them, give them a deeper understanding of everything that may be taking place in their life, or they just want to share with me about different things and just want my input on it. And I try my best to be able to do that. Whatever we speak on is confidential, and I try to help out the best way I can. And, you know, like and subscribe. Drop that line. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. And you'll see me on my next video. And even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You just never know. All those things really take somebody a long way. And you'll see me on my next video. Much love to you. Peace.